Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today is a beautiful Thursday, but honestly, I am in no mood to enjoy the sunshine. I'm sitting here in the dark with an empty box of tissues, and I just need to vent. If you haven't watched the latest episode of General Hospital yet, turn back now. For everyone else, grab a blanket and let's cry together. I am literally shaking as I type this. I cannot believe they just did that. I cannot believe the writers actually went there. I'm sitting in front of my screen. My eyes are completely swollen from crying, and I just need to get all of these feelings out before I absolutely explode. We all knew this storyline with Rocco and Britt going on the run was going to end in tears, but this was a level of emotional devastation that I was not prepared for. I have been watching General Hospital for over a decade. I have seen characters come and go. I have seen explosions and mob shootouts and tragic illnesses, but what happened today in that abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of Port Charles is going to haunt me forever. I mean, they didn't just kill a character, they completely ripped our hearts out, stomped on them, and then expected us to just tune in tomorrow like everything is fine. Okay, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's back up. Let's talk about the setup, because the tension in this episode was absolutely suffocating. Am I the only one who was screaming at the TV the entire time Britt and Rocco have been on the run? And trying to stay off the grid, trying to survive, and they end up hiding out in this dilapidated, old, creepy warehouse on the edge of town. You could just feel the dread seeping through the screen. The lighting was dark, the shadows were long, and you just knew that something terrible was coming. And then the door gets kicked in. Ross Cullum. I swear to you, I have never hated a villain on this soap as much as I hate Ross Cullum right now. He finally tracked them down. The man is completely unhinged, driven by this insane, vengeful rage. He walks into that warehouse, and the look in his eyes was pure, unfiltered evil. He didn't care that Rocco's just a kid. He didn't care about anything except his own twisted revenge. He looks at Rocco, this terrified young boy who's already carrying so much guilt, and he raises his gun. Ross actually believed that Rocco was the ultimate threat, the loose end that needed to be tied up. And this is the moment where time literally stopped. I stopped breathing. You stopped breathing. Because Ross pulls the trigger, he aims right at Rocco, and he fires. But Britt, oh my god, Britt Westbourne, she didn't hesitate, she didn't freeze. She didn't even take a fraction of a second to think about her own life. Without a single moment of hesitation, she lunged forward. She threw her entire body in front of Rocco to shield him. And then, the sound of that gunshot. It echoed through the warehouse, but it also echoed through my living room. I felt it in my chest. And that's exactly where the bullet hit her. The bullet tore straight through Britt's chest. She took the shot meant for Rocco. I cannot handle this. I am crying again, just typing it out. Britt Westbourne, the woman who started out on the show as the Britch, the woman who was so selfish and so manipulative all those years ago, just made the ultimate sacrifice. She threw herself into the line of fire to save a child, to save Rocco. She collapsed instantly, falling right in front of him, and the way she went down. It was so brutal and so incredibly heartbreaking. Rocco's reaction is what completely broke me. This poor kid. He thought he was doing the right thing by running away. He thought he was protecting his parents, protecting Dante, and Lulu protecting Jason, who took the fall for him. And now, because he ran, the woman who protected him is bleeding out on a dirty warehouse floor. Rocco drops to his knees, and he just pulls her into his arms. He is sobbing, hysterically crying, completely consumed by this crushing wave of regret. You could see it all over his face, the agonizing realization that he dragged her into this deadly game, and now she's paying the price with her life. And then he said it. The line that is going to go down in General Hospital history as one of the most devastating pieces of dialogue ever written. Rocco is holding her, his hands covered in her blood, and he screams out, "Mom Britt, please don't leave me." Mom Britt. I need to stop typing for a second, because I am literally hyperventilating. Do you guys understand the weight of that? Do the new viewers understand the history here? Because longtime fans know exactly why that line is a masterclass in soap opera storytelling. Let's go back into the GH history books for a second. Years ago, Britt Westbourne stole Lulu and Dante's embryo. She implanted it in herself. She carried that baby. She gave birth to Rocco. For the first part of his life, she was his mother. She loved him with this fierce, desperate, twisted kind of love because she wanted so badly to be a mom. When the truth came out, she lost him. She lost the baby she gave birth to. She had to hand him over to Lulu and Dante, and it broke her. For years, Britt has walked around Port Charles with this massive hole in her heart. She wanted to be a mother more than anything in the world. She tried to be a mother figure to Spencer. She longed for a family, and she always carried the pain of losing Rocco. And now here we are, over a decade later. She's dying on the floor, bleeding out from a gunshot wound to the chest. And the boy she gave birth to, the boy she just sacrificed her life for, looks down at her and calls her mom. Mom Britt. I am screaming. I am throwing things at my wall. The poetry of it, the absolute tragic, beautiful, gut-wrenching poetry of it all. Rocco acknowledged her. In her final moments on this earth, she got the one thing she has wanted her entire adult life. She got to be his mother again. She got that validation. And you know she heard him because of what happened next. Britt looked up at him. She is gasping for air. The life is literally draining out of her body. But she hears those words, and she smiles. You guys, she smiled. It wasn't a smile of pain. It was a smile of pure, absolute fulfillment. It was the most beautiful, peaceful expression I have ever seen on this show. In that one fraction of a second, all of her past sins, all of her regrets, all of her loneliness just washed away. She saved her son. He called her mom. Her journey was complete. And then she was gone. The light just faded from her eyes. Her final breath slipped away. And the angel in white scrubs was dead. I am so angry right now. I am so angry at the writers for taking her from us. But I am also in awe of how perfectly they wrote this exit. I hate them, but I love them. But I mostly hate them. Why do they always kill off the most complex, beautifully redeemed characters? Britt Westbourne was the heart of the hospital. She was the snarky, vulnerable, brilliant doctor who fought so hard to become a good person. And just when she reaches the absolute peak of her redemption arc dying, a hero's death to save an innocent child, they rip her away from us. I mean, I get it. I get that it makes for incredible television. But I am grieving. I am legitimately mourning a fictional character right now, and I don't care who judges me for it. And as if all of that wasn't enough to completely destroy my mental health for the week, the writers had to twist the knife one more time. Because who comes bursting through the warehouse doors literally seconds after Britt's heart stops beating Dante? Dante Falconeri arrives 5 seconds too late. I can't. I just can't. Dante kicks the door open, his gun drawn, ready to save his son, ready to be the hero cop. But the threat is already over, and the cost was Britt's life. Imagine being Dante in that moment. He walks into this dark, dusty warehouse, and the first thing he sees is his young son on the floor, covered in blood, sobbing over Britt's dead body. The sheer horror on Dante's face was award-winning. You could see his entire world crash down around him. He is Rocco's father. He is the cop. He is supposed to protect them. And he failed. He arrived too late to save the woman who gave birth to his son. He arrived too late to stop his son from witnessing a brutal murder. How is Dante going to live with this? How is he going to look Lulu in the eye and tell her what happened? Hey, Lulu, we found Rocco. But Britt took a bullet to the chest for him and died in his arms while he called her mom. Like, how does a family recover from that? The trauma that Rocco is going to carry for the rest of his life is unimaginable. First, he pulls the trigger and shoots Ross Cullum, letting Jason take the fall. Then he runs away, dragging Britt into danger. And now, he has to live with the fact that Britt Westbourne is dead. Because she jumped in front of a bullet meant for him. This kid is going to need years of therapy. He's going to be so broken by this. And let's talk about the ripple effects this is going to have across Port Charles. What is Sonny going to do when he finds out Ross Cullum murdered Britt? Sonny is going to unleash hell on earth. Ross Cullum is a dead man walking. I don't care if the PCPD gets to him first. Sonny is going to make sure Ross suffers in the most agonizing way possible. And honestly, I am here for it. I want to see Ross Cullum destroyed. I want him to pay for taking Britt away from us. I know some people are probably going to say, well, it's a soap opera, nobody really dies. But guys, this felt final. The way she smiled, the way she closed her eyes, it felt like a true permanent goodbye. And if it is, I have to give a massive standing ovation to the actress, to the writers, to the directors, because this was a masterpiece of an episode. It was devastating. It was cruel. It was everything I hate about soap operas, but it was also everything I love about them. It made me feel something so deeply. But I am still so mad. I wanted Britt to find love. I wanted her to be happy. I wanted her to walk the halls of General Hospital and be the chief of staff and yell at people and have a happy ending. Why couldn't they just let her leave town? Why couldn't she just go to some fancy research facility in Europe? Why did she have to die on a filthy warehouse floor? Wait, okay, catching my breath. Deep breaths. I think what makes this so hard to swallow is that it's just so unfair. But then again, life in Port Charles is never fair. I just keep replaying that moment in my head. Mom, Britt, please don't leave me. It's going to be echoing in my nightmares. The way Rocco clung to her. The way Dante dropped to his knees when he realized she was gone. It was cinematic. It was tragic. It was General Hospital at its absolute best and its absolute most painful. I'm going to need at least a week to recover from this. I don't even know how I'm going to watch tomorrow's episode. Seeing everyone find out about her death, seeing the hospital staff react, seeing Brad find out his best friend is dead. Oh my God, Brad. Brad is going to lose his mind. I can't even think about that right now, or I'm going to start bawling all over again. Alright, I need to wrap this up before I short circuit my keyboard with my tears. Let me know in the comments how you guys are holding up, because I am not okay. Are we rioting? Are we sending angry letters to ABC? Or are we just going to sit here and cry together? Because I am down for all of the above. R.I.P. Britt Westbourne. You were the britch. You were a hero. And in the end, you were a mother. We will never ever forget you.